Yeah, how you doing?
Fantastic. Yeah, good, thank you. Thanks so much for coming on. If we start with your Southend United days, obviously, how old were you when you first came to the club? I know you came up through the youth system, didn't you? But how old were you when you first came to Southend United?
Mate, I signed. I think I was an under 15 when I signed. Yeah, under 15. Guy called Alan Houghton was the manager at the time, and sort of under 15, under 16s, and then yeah, just ended up sort of progressing through. I didn't actually get my YTS to begin with. They didn't actually offer me my YTS. I played for free for a season on a non-contract.
I think lots of people have done that in Southend recently.
yeah. No, it's a normal thing now. But yeah, back then, I think they didn't think I was good enough to offer a YTS to begin with. I knew within myself I was, one of the better players. So I played non-contract, and in the second year I signed, and that's when Peter Johnson had left, and then Peter Trevian come in.
Okay, yeah.
And then I had two years under him, and then it just went from there. Really, ended up sort of playing for the youth team, and then signing pro, and then making first team debut. And yeah, really, it was really like Dave Webb, Mick Goodin sort of giving my debut, but then it was like sort of Dave Webb that ended up giving me my big chance, really.
Yeah, and coming through as a youngster, getting thrust into that sort of first team, you must remember that well. How tough was that as a young player, or are you just excited that you've got the opportunity?
Just excited, to be honest. Like I say, there was a good bunch of lads as well in like sort of in the changing room that helped me through. Like Kev Mayer. Eventually I used to do all Kev's running for him, to be honest. He used to just say to me, "Go and get him the ball," sort of thing. So, but yeah, you Kev Mayers, Leo Roger, Carl Hutchins, Fuller Whelan was there at the time, Dave Lee. A lot of the boys were, they helped me sort of initially, and then eventually, I think, manager Dave Webb ended up signing he likes like Tess Bramble, Mark Rawl, Barrington Belgrave, and that Leon Court, and yeah, we had a great team spirit. It was really real fond memories when I was at Southend.
Then you ended up going from there to Gillingham, if I remember.
Gillingham, yeah. Ended up
there.
there.
Came around, and how did you do that?
It was really good.
Close association with Peter Taylor, didn't you?
No, so Peter Taylor was actually wanted to sign me for Brighton. He was Brighton manager at the time. It was Andy Hessenthaler who signed me at Gills, but I was all set to go to Brighton, and then Peter Taylor ended up walking away from the job there. He ended up going to Hull, which was back in League Two. So they offered me a deal as well. But it was like Gillingham were in the Championship at the time. It was too good a offer to turn down. I was actually offered more money at Hull actually in League.
Oh, really?
In League Two, yeah. but the chance to play in the Championship, or play some games in the Champ, yeah, that was too good to turn down. And ended up signing there, and ended up signed a 3-year deal, and then I signed another 3-year deal. So I ended up having 6 seasons there that were really good, really enjoyable. So it was really, really good, really nice.
When did you go from at Southend? I always remember you as a midfielder, but I remember then in years to come when we would play, you ended up at the back. When did that sort of happen in your career? Was that at Wycombe or? Was that
No. That happened at Gillingham. I sort of I went to Gillingham, and I always remember I went there obviously as a midfield player, but at first I always remember I went home one day to my dad, probably in the first week when I was there, and I'm like, Dad, they're passing balls that I'm not even seeing. Like, they're on a different level. And, I had to eventually, I think they said to me, look, they want to play me at centre half, and I would have played anywhere to play in the team. So I ended up dropping back to centre half, and then sort of was learning on the job, playing centre half, in the Championship a little bit. And because I wasn't good enough to play as a midfield player in the Championship, but I was decent enough to play at centre half, and played a lot of games at centre half and left back really, and then that just became my position.
Yeah, and on to Wycombe. I remember you winning promotion again. I'm sure it was against Southend.
Yeah.
Season.
I've got a massive scar. The big dude up front, Moshney.
Oh yeah. He's coming on a bit later. I'll let him know. Yeah.
Yeah, So he played up front. This was under Sturrock, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
And we needed to win to get promoted. So I remember he come down. He was wearing a kilt.
Yeah, he lost the bet. That's why he lost the bet.
Right.
They weren't high enough up the table, so yeah, he had to wear a kilt.
Yeah, it was mad that day because we sort of lined up, and Moshin's always been a centre half. I know he could always do a job up front, but then he lined up front, and I remember like first 5 minutes gone up for header, and it's like we've clashed, and he split my chin open. So I remember I had to go off. I've gone off, and just said to the doc, just stitch it up, because what I didn't want to do is there was no way I wanted to come off and miss the chance of promotion. That's what you work hard for all season. So she ended up stitching me up, and I sort of ran back on, and then as I've run back on the pitch, we've gone 1-0 down. But yeah, we ended up sort of winning the game 3-1 comfortably and getting promoted. So yeah, it was a great day, to be fair.
Yeah, I know Wycombe was your final club, professional.
Yeah.
Did you drop into non-league at all?
No. Just retired, mate. I was done. Like, to be honest, my hip, mate, was hanging on by a thread. And to be honest, I probably played the last. When I got to about 30, 31, I saw a surgeon, and he sort of like said, "Look, you need to think about doing something else." But I managed to play on for a couple more seasons. Got to like 33, 34, and but I sort of knew that I was finished. And when I retired, I played my last game for Wycombe, and that was it. That was that. And then sort of transitioned into other side of life. Bit, football agency and stuff like
that. Now you do a lot of work in that. Did you become an agent straight away? Or did you try?
I started to work with the agency that was looking after me straight away. It was you sort of there's a big transitional period with that. You have to sort of learn the ropes a lot and sort of lean on more experienced people. But got involved in that. And sort of done that for quite a while now. It keeps you in football, doesn't it? Would have loved to. What was that?
Oh, that's a question for you there. Who was your manager in the youth?
Yes. Sorry, just to answer that, Peter Trevivian, and I have to say, yes, he was the youth team manager, and he's the best guy I've ever worked with in football. If it wasn't for him, I never would have played for as long as I did. In the 2 years that I had him as my coach, I learned everything and more than what I needed to sort of set me up for the rest of my career. I wish I could have taken him everywhere with me, if I'm honest. Phenomenal coach, unbelievable. And then sort of towards the end of my youth team, like obviously Rick come in and was sort of under Trivs as well, and Rick was a great help to me as well. But Trivs was, I was speaking about him the other day. I'd love to sort of meet up with him and sit down, have a coffee, and have a catch up. Because if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't. I learned so much under him. I probably wouldn't have played professionally, to be honest.
Yeah, and how much do you enjoy passing on your knowledge that you've learnt now to the players that you look after as an agent now?
Yeah. It's good. If they listen. Youth today are a lot different. They're very different to sort of when myself and others were coming through. But I do enjoy it. I do enjoy going to games and watching games of football. It keeps you involved. Like if you're not going to coach, and the coaching route's very, very difficult to get into. You sort of, to get that opportunity is always difficult, and it's a very, very long road. The opportunity with agency was there, so I took that, and it's good. It's always nice when you find see a player at a young age, and you sort of move through the leagues with them, which I've sort of done so with, if you use Southend for example, with your Drews,
haven't you?
And Charlie as well, and whatnot. So it's always nice, to see him go on and do well.
Yeah. How's Drew finding New York then? I bet that was quite an unusual move, but an exciting one for him.
Yeah. He's loving life, mate. He speaks bloody Spanish now.
Oh, really?
A lot of the squad, speak Spanish, so he speaks Spanish, and yeah, he enjoys. He lives a very, very good life out there. You know, it's like I say, New York's New York, isn't it? You know, and playing out there, you know, they get very, very well looked after. You know, the stadiums are, you know, generally packed. I mean, I think there's even a picture of Drew and Messi
Yeah, I
that's
saw
flying
that. Yeah,
around
it
on
was
the internet.
incredible,
You
wasn't
know,
it? Yeah.
like
Must be in
you
his
know,
hallway by now, I would have thought.
yeah, massively, yeah, unbelievable. But yeah, no, he's, you know, I spoke to him yesterday, funny enough, and he's, yeah, Drew's Drew. He's, you know, he's just always happy, isn't he? You know.
Yeah. And just finally, how's Charlie doing? Obviously, he left Southend. It was a tough time, wasn't it, to be at Southend? But
Yeah.
you know, was at Orient, and so how's he getting on in his career now?
Yeah. He's doing well. To be fair, he's like I say, he's at QPR. That, you know, they're going through their struggles a little bit at the moment. He's in and around the squad. You know, I mean, he had a great season last season, getting promoted with Leyton Orient. You know, so he's still only 21, isn't he? And he's got a promotion on his CV in the league. But yeah, he's just at QPR fighting for his place. You know, he started the season there, and he's come off the bench and whatnot, and probably a little bit of a transitional period for himself. But again, he's another player that's really, really young. And you know, he's, like I say, he's a great lad. Works hard every day, wants to improve, and you know, there will come a time when, you know, he'll have that season where I think he'll score 20+ goals in a season, and you know, he'll be off to the moon again.
Brilliant. Fantastic. That's superb. Thank you very much indeed for your time. Thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully Southend will have a point where we can start signing people again, and you can send a few gems back to Roots Hall. Would be much appreciated.
Yeah, no problem, mate. So how long you got left?
I think it's about 23 hours. So yeah, getting comfy on the sofa. So yeah, if you're awake again at 3:30, like I said, then I'll give you a call. But yeah, really massively appreciate you coming on, and a pleasure to talk to you as always.
No problem, mate. Anytime. I'll speak to you soon.
Leon. Thanks, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thanks, mate.
Bye-bye.